Hello people, welcome back. Today you join me on Witch's Point. You've got quite, well, you can probably see the swells behind me. The sea's not looking too happy today. It's well, we've got quite a strong northwesterly wind. I was going to stick around Barry, try for a blood. I was going to go on Friar's Point. I just thought, why not get down Witches? Found a few small lides about, maybe a couple hounds. Now that they're in force, I thought I'd bring a few crab as well. I have been fishing for probably, I don't know, coming to an hour maybe. Nothing yet. I was quite early really. I got down here like 2 hours after low. So I'm not really expecting a great deal yet. The best of the session will come, no doubt. It'll be a bit later. I did start off with up and overs, but because we got such a strong side wind, as you're casting out, the wind's catching your boat, and obviously because it's obviously so low, the tide, you're quite high up off the water, being up on the top of the ledges, so it's catching your line in your cast, and obviously your lead and your rig, and it's not really allowing you to cast as far as you would normally be able to. So I figured, and obviously, as you all know, with a loop rig, the nature of the rig, you got both your baits above the lead. So I was fishing, I started off with them and I was using like whole squid on each hook and bluey or whatever I was using. So obviously, you know, they're not small baits, so they're going to catch in the wind even more. So I've just dropped down now to an up and over. And already I've noticed a difference in the distance. So let's get to it. I've also got a third rod. I don't know if you'll be able to see that in the screen there, but I got a third rod off the left there with just a 2-hooker on it. Some small fish baits. I didn't really cast out that far. So got a bit of a mix of a bait. I went in my freezer and just picked out a few old packs of a mix of different stuff. I got squid, bluey, sardine, mackerel. Found a few little sand eels in there. A half a pack of sand eel, and also got a few crab and a few prawns. So I got a right good mix. So we haven't got any excuses today if I don't catch anything. Do my best anyway. So with all that said, I am going to get fishing and hopefully catch some fish. That's my next rig to go out there. Big chunk of bluey. Well, it's virtually a whole bluey. I just put on half of it on the dongle and then basically filleted the top half of the bluey and then just put that either side. So get out there now, check these baits, and hopefully bring you back with some fish. Well, I sat there watching my rods and I was thinking to myself, I'm sure I can hear a bit of a ratchet going. And I was thinking, it's not my rod, no one else down here, what's it coming from? And then I thought, obviously, got a third rod, haven't I? With some small hooks. So I looked round, and indeed it was. Fish on. First ray of the session. Typical though, fishing with like obviously your bigger baits for the rays on them rods. And I stuck a small hooks up there on this one. A little strip of squid and strip of mackerel and had a reel on that. So it just goes to show, although it's not a big fish, you don't need big baits to catch big fish. So it's lovely fish though. And I do find though, small light specifically, you can have some wicked sessions fishing with 2 or 3 hookers because they're not the biggest fish in the world. And you know, you got a good chance of getting 2 or 3 on us sometimes if they're in force. And as well, the way I think of it, I've never been one for big baits. Obviously out there now, if there is sand eels that they're feeding on, they're only going to be small ones. So you don't always need big baits. I've always said that. So that sort of proves it, doesn't it? Been fishing with whole squid and whole blueys out there for a little while now. Nothing. Stuck a tiny strips of squid out there and it was only in the water for about 10 minutes. But there we go. First ray of the session. Not a bad start. Let's get him back. But we've got another fish on by the feels of it. And yeah, it's another ray. So up on the surface out there. A small light, no doubt. With a smaller one, this one. There he is. Second ray of the session. They're on the feed now. I was taking on mackerel. Happy days. Let's get him back. Say hello, Mr. A. Sweet. I just had a nice slack liner then. It's quite hard to see the buds because of the wind. And the swell's pulling your lines down, so you're getting a lot of pullovers. Which is the swell, but they're looking like bites, so it's quite hard to tell at the minute. But this one dropped back a lot more slack than what they've been doing. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a fish. Another ray, maybe. I did just have a doggy, but obviously I ain't going to show you that because nasty little things. I'll stick to the rays. I'm not sure what this is. Don't feel particularly big. Hopefully it's not a doggy. It is as well. It is a doggy. Ugh. Nasty little things. Who wants some? Not me. Well, the fishing seems to have died off a bit as it's coming up to high. I think we're about an hour away. So I put the hooker in, well, out, not in, well, in the water. And I had the slack liner, and we're in. It's a ray. Didn't even put it that far. A lot closer than the other rods are. Just goes to show, mind. It's not always about distance. Now, thornback this time. Little thorny. Well, there it is. As I lifted it out, I noticed a big gash in its wing lock. God knows what that was. Maybe a seal or something. That's horrible. Not the best condition ray I've ever seen. You probably want to pick it up, but it's literally like really skinny. So I won't keep it out too much longer. Even around the edges of the fins there, seems like it's been run over by a car. There's a very poor conditioned fish anyway. Not that I'm complaining. Nice to catch it, but just saying. Yeah, that is a pretty nasty gash in this wing there. Poor thing. Right, well, seeing as he's not doing too well, let's send him back. Oh, looks like the fish are on the feed now because my right rod here is going. And I got my my 2 hooker down on the ledge a bit, which has got a pretty decent bite actually. I tell you what, I'll grab that rod, I'll be back now. We'll check that one and then we'll check this one. There's definitely something messing with this one. Yep, there's fish on there. It's quite a tidy bite as well actually. Not more aggressive than the other bites I've been having. Don't feel very big though. Well, the way he's staying deep, I wouldn't say he's a dog. Spotty. Spotted Raimondo. Another species. The 2-0 clip down, strikes again. Ooh, got by the line. On my right, oh, on my left. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the right rod is still going. That's what I'll do. I'll leave him there for a minute. He should be right. It's not a bad fish, that. Do a quick look. Not bad spotty. But I'll quickly wind that in because I think there's a ray on there. Let's find out. It's one of them things. Oh, that's a bullass. It's a baby bully. So that's thornbacks, small eyes, doggies, and now bullhass. Here we go. There's the spotty and the baby bullass. I do love these things. Obviously a bit bigger would be nice, wouldn't it? But cool patterns on them. Just an angry doggy, I suppose. But the way, because you see a few people that are, say, like new to fishing, and they catch one and they think it's a dog but they're unsure. The ways to tell is that they got less spots and bigger spots, more pronounced. And then the mouth, basically, if I bring that closer, you can see the little, he's burping, basically where like almost like the nostrils are basically. The actual flaps you could probably see stick outwards. A doggies, they lay flat on its nose, on the underside. That's always the main giveaway. Obviously they grow bigger, a lot bigger than a dog. That is like a proper baby, but that's like an average stamp of a doggy. So yeah, that's the doggy. And the smaller, the spotty, not bad. Quite nice size spotty actually, probably about 2.5, 3 pound maybe. Third race species of the session as well. Happy days. I'll grab a photo of the spotty, might weigh him, and then send him on his way and the hus. All right, let's get him back. Well, the tide's turned now. There's quite a bit of tide there as well, so you would think it would have helped the fishing, but it's actually gone quite quiet recently. Well, past. It's probably been about an hour or so since I've had that spotty in that little huss. That's been about an hour. But well, I've had 2 dogs since then. Obviously, I ain't going to show them. So give it a few more casts, I think. Now there's quite a bit of tide, I might try crab again, because I did try it earlier on with no joy. So might try that. Not going to fish too much of the drop though, because I'll give it probably another. I'll just give it two more casts on each rod, and then make the move then. Start packing up in a bit. Just baited up my my next rig. Chunk of squid on the dongle. So yeah, it's been alright though today so far. We've had what's it been? Small eyes, a thorny, spotty, dogs and a huss. Can't complain. If only blonde now we've had the slam in one session. Yeah. I will say though, for South Wales there's a pretty scenic mark, I've got to give it to it, which is especially this mark on the side. Up on the front's nice obviously, because you got your view all the way down the coast. But this one you can see all the way down the cliffs down towards Monknash, and then heading back down to Barry then. There was a bite down on the left one. There's a definite bite. But anyway, yeah, it's a pretty it is a pretty scenic mark. You got to give it to it. It's lovely views around here. So when the fishing's not the best, at least you got something nice to look at. Right, well, that was a definite bite on the left rod then. So I'll check that now. See if there's a fish on there. Hopefully there is. I'll put that one a bit closer. Seeing as that tour clip down doing so well today, in close, I think I'll put mackerel on it and just flick it up there. About 50 yards out maybe. So, fingers crossed, bring you back now with a nice fish on it. There we go. Stupidly, I didn't have the camera turned on, but there was a ray on it. Take it on mackerel. He fought quite well this one in that tide. Gave a good accounting for himself. There we go. That's the 3rd small-eyed of the session. Not bad. I do like these ones. They are quite powerful in the tide, they've got to be fair. Powerful little fish. Well, the fishing has gotten manical all of a sudden. Literally just had that swallowed, and then I was literally putting it back, and I looked back up and my rod was buckled in the stand. It shot right down tide, taking line off the ratchet. So I was going to set the camera, but I thought, I didn't want to risk losing that fish because my line went far off the rocks behind me there. So didn't really fight much coming in. I've managed to bring in someone's rig, so nice one for the lead, much appreciated. Rig's absolutely trashed, all tangled up in the other guy's rig, but it produced a banging small-eyed, absolute chunk of a small-eyed. Without a doubt the biggest fish of this session. I think it's one of my other rods as well. That tip's bounced a bit. But yeah, lovely markings on that one. I'll weigh that one. That's it's not a bad size one. I haven't had a decent small-eyed round here in ages. That's one thing I will say though, around South Wales, a lot of small-eyeds around Witches and Ogmore area, and obviously down Porthcawl way. I don't often get many big ones. But not a bad fish though. Trust with that one. Well, I'll get some photos of it, I'll weigh it, and Yeah, I think there's one of my other rods, so which I'll reel that in now. I'll have one more cast on each rod and I'll get out of here because I've got to shoot off. Can't save it too long. So happy days, not bad fish though. Biggest one of the day. Right, well that is my last 2 casts. Well, I got my 3rd rod with a 2 clip down on it. And the bait whether to chuck that up there or not. It's baited up ready to go. I probably will. Because why not? I'm here now, I might as well fish it. So I'll give the, well, I'll go pack up on my gear, but I'll give these 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes and then bring him in, pack up and head off then. But it's been a good session though, gotta be fair. I've had, I think it was like 3 or 4 small lights. I think it's 4, was it? Can't quite remember now. But anyway, 3 or 4 small lights, 2 spotties, 1 thorny, a huss, and enough dogfish for my liking. I've been crazy with the dogs, but been enough. That's all I'll say about them. It's been enough of them. So yeah, like I said, I'll give the, well, I've got a whole squid on the left and sardine on the right hand rod, so I'll give them a bit of time. I've only just gone up there a couple of minutes ago. The sardine and mackerel's been without a doubt the best bait for the session. I've had one ray on squid and all the rest have been on mackerel and sardine. So if anyone's coming down here soon, bring some mackerel and sardine because there's fishing well with it down here. But obviously, as everyone knows, I'll come back down tonight's tide and it'll all be on squid or sandy or something, so every tide's different, but that's why I like always having a bit of a selection of baits, because like sometimes, don't get me wrong, whenever you chuck out there you'll have fish on, but sometimes I do find it does fish better with one bait rather than the other. So I do normally find squid does well down here, and the deeps, and all along Ogmore I do find fish as well, but not today. I only had 1 fish on it. So yeah, well, I'll cast that 2 o'clock there now, get packing up, and then head home to edit this video. So basically, with all that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and don't forget your rubbish, take it home. Well, I said my goodbyes, and I reeled in the 2 hooker on this last cast. Had a nice double shot of doggy and a spotty. That's the 2nd spotty of the session. Little male this time, proper little one. Loads of spikes on him. Right, well, I said my goodbyes already, but the fish don't want me to leave by the looks of it. I would have another cast, but I gotta get going. So for me and the spotty, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.